get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going. I get to it off the runway. Different incomes, not one way. Living life on a one way. I knew this would happen someday. You can ask my day one day. Cloudy days turn to sun rays. Only way to way up way. Know my way, know my feng shui.
All right, we're back. We're back. Apologize for that, guys. Technical difficulties. Trying to get things situated here. You guys hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up. I can hear myself, so it's a little weird. It's a little weird, man. Every time I try to play with something new, it's a little weird. But welcome to the channel. If you guys are coming to the channel over here and finding this video, we are going to chat a little bit while we get some of you guys to jump in here, guys. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, here on the live, the guys are watching this on the live. But if you're watching this on the replay, welcome to the Wolf Rider channel. We are here live, recording this live. And I just wanted to talk a little bit today on this video about not wasting your time in trucking. If you're coming into trucking, if you are thinking of come into trucking, and that's how you found this channel, how you found this video, make sure that you don't come out here and waste your time, other company's time, your family's time, your own time, because that's time that you don't get back. So let me double check with my guys. And if there's any ladies, I'm not sure, but there's any guys here live, let me know if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up here in the chat, guys. Let me check that out and make sure that you guys can hear me okay. Make sure the volume is good. What up? What up? What up, 806? 806 Travis in the house. We got Duke City Gaming. We got Mr. Emmanuel. We got Christopher, Mr. Pruitt. We chat a lot as well. How's up? What's up, guys? Appreciate you guys jumping on, but making sure you guys can hear me okay. All right, all right. The Truth, what's up? The Truth, welcome in, welcome in. I know there's possibly a lot of new names coming up, and we'll get to that a little bit later in the video. But as you guys jump in here, let me just talk a little bit about the topic, which again is not wasting your time out here in trucking. As I'm driving the last couple of days, I'm just thinking about the plans, think about been working on my 1-year review video as far as being out here with Melton and as a rookie driver in my first year. And I know that's kind of long overdue because my 1 year was in January 20th. So I just got to put that in and edit it. And that's going to be posting up later this week. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But as I'm thinking about that and doing that video, there's also thoughts coming in my mind about, the people that I've talked to that met through the last year or so. People that's been doing this industry for a long time, people that's been doing this as a rookie, as myself, and people that have come in and friends that I've spoke to that I went through, the school with back in December and the beginning of January of 19 and 20, who are no longer doing it or who have jumped from different companies immediately after they started, trying to find what they liked, trying to find something that worked for them after the fact. And that's all great and dandy. We all kind of learn and come in for different reasons. But I think it's very important that if you're looking to come into the industry or you just recently came into the industry and that's how you find this channel, that you come in with a plan. I've said it before in a few videos in the past, but I just kind of want to dig in a little bit into that tonight with you guys, is make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. Trucking is not just a job. At least, some people get it because they see local drivers and that's what they want to do. but they don't realize that getting your CDL and having an experience and getting a local job, not impossible, because I have a friend that have it, um, and did it that way and got lucky, but it's not the norm, and it's not something that's going to happen all the time. So, they might go through the process of getting CDL and they think, oh, I'm going to go out there and be OTR for 6 months, 8 months, and then I'm going to look for a local job. And they get out here looking for just the first company that gives them the opportunity to work, and they realize the challenges that being an OTR driver, regardless whether you're doing drive and reefer, you're doing open deck, regardless for where you go to, regardless of the company, it has its challenges. It's not as easy as it seems. It's more than just driving a vehicle. Number one, this is not a 4-wheel car or just a pickup truck or a large bus, which I've driven buses in the past. Um, it's not that. You're driving a huge vehicle with a trailer in the back, with product in the back. And again, regardless if it's open deck or reefer or dry van, and you're responsible not only for the equipment that you're driving that's not yours, you're also responsible for yourself. You're responsible for the safety of people, of others. You start realizing your daily routine of what you have to pay attention to, your clock, your time, your speed, your signs. You got to watch out for everybody else on the road, the weather, where, knowing where you're going, the GPS, keeping an eye on, weather locations and traffic, the engine. You got to keep an eye on that vehicle that you're driving. And there's a lot more to it than just driving and coming out here and driving. Let me double check. It seems like I may have hit the out of focus on there. That's a little better. That's aggravated me a little bit. um, but it's a lot more. It's a lot more than that, guys. And I just wanted to let you guys know, if you're coming into trucking, come with a plan. Um, I'm not a man of a bunch of different words. I can talk a lot, but just to get it to the point of the video and the point of the chat and the live today is come out here with a plan. A lot of you guys that have talked to me personally, whether it's on Instagram or here, that I've reached out to, or emailed me and that reached out to me that way, know that I'm straightforward. I tell you, based on my experience, I tell you what I've been through, what I recommend, what I don't recommend. It doesn't mean you have to do it like I did it at all. It's just an example for you guys coming in. And as far as Melton, it's just my experience with them. And I can tell you what I know as far as the company and what is public out there that you can find out for yourself through us, through myself, through other YouTubers that work for the company, just like I do in other companies. But at the end of the day, you have to experience that yourself. You have to make the decision to come out here. You have to make the decision to get your CDL if you haven't yet. You have to make that sacrifice. You have to stay out here, for days, weeks at a time. You have to understand that in order to make it a certain amount of money or have a more of a stable income, you can't be out here a week and go home. That's not an OTR driver. If your goal is to get a local job, at home and be closer to home, and you're thinking, I got to do that for the year, that year is going to seem like a long year. And if that's all you concentrate and fight about, and you push yourself, or you cut corners, the first offer you get, somebody gives you a chance, or the local owner out gives you, offers you an opportunity to come with them, and that might be the best. You may not have benefits. You may not have, maybe it's just cash under the table, whatever. And you rush yourself out there just because you don't want to pay the price of having that 1 year OTR at least. I can't say that things aren't necessarily going to work the way that you thought it was in the beginning. For me, I've definitely can say that I've had some learning experience a lot. I knew what to expect. I planned myself. I prepared myself a lot. I did a lot of talking. Like I said, my father's been a driver. I know what to expect in that sense. Not being home, I understand that. But in my life, in my stage of life, it wasn't something that I was 100% worried about. I knew it was going to be an adjustment, and it's been an adjustment. I've definitely spoke to friends like Emmanuel that's right here on the channel. We chat a lot over the phone. We stay in touch. He's also a Melton driver as well. And, we talk about life. We talk about what we go through, the good things, the challenges that we go through in here. and I'm always open to share the way it is, and I do it through the videos little by little, and I hope you guys I see that, and that's why you have decided to subscribe to this channel and you follow it. And if you haven't, or again, if this is your first video that you find, that you subscribe and check out the other videos, or before you do, whatever, go check out the other video. It doesn't matter to me, but if it helps you in any way, go check him out. But Emmanuel and I, we talk about, what we go through, and I share with you guys here on the videos exactly what I go through, and then hopefully answer those questions that you have as honest as I can. Because I'm not here necessarily to promote Melton. I do definitely. Do I like him? Do I think they're a great company? I definitely do. I like Open Deck. This is what I wanted to do. Like before I got my CDL, or in the process of, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to do Flatbed. I wanted to do Open Deck. And I was willing to go do dry van or reefer at the time, in order to make it happen before I could go Open Deck. But fortunately for me, I had the opportunity to just not, have to go through that process through, a mega carrier, and have to wait for that period of time to do, get my experience, or go through, Swift. Swift also has Open Deck and Flatbed. And I looked at their, I was looking at their program, but the pay was definitely not the same as what I'm getting now. So, I got starting with, with Melton. It was a whole different ball game. It was slower. But I was willing to do that. Like, I have made a decision. I've done the research so far based on the options that I had, as with no experience and with not a lot of money to pay for, a private school or whatever, to make a decision of what I wanted to do. So therefore, it wasn't a surprise for me as far as the sacrifice of being out here. The plan, like you guys shared, I stay out here 2-3 months at a time. I don't come out here for 3-4 weeks and then go home or take home time and then come back out. I'm out here 2-3 months at a time. This time it's going to be 4 months, with a little weekend in between, which I just did. And I'm back, but this time I'm not going back home basically till May. I am taking a little vacation in April, but it's just, I made the sacrifice. I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew this is going to be home right here, this small place. Ashley and I made that sacrifice. We talked about it. We researched it. I showed her trucks because she wasn't, fully aware. If you're looking to get your spouse or your girlfriend or your loved one or whatever with you, I showed her trucks, the inside of trucks, how they look like, what to expect. Melton was primarily at the time, Kenworth 6680. That's changed in the last 6 months or so, a little bit, but that's what I looked. So she knew what to expect. She knew the space, have an idea what the space that she was going to live with through in this process. And I did the same, and I made those sacrifices, how much we eliminated, the things we sold and got rid of. The time being out here. I have kids, they're older kids, but they're still kids. I got one graduating high school and got one left to finish graduating high school. And it's still time away from them. I have a granddaughter. I have a grandson on the way from my other daughter in July. So, that's family that I don't get to see that all the time anymore. And do I miss him? Yes. Sometimes I miss being home, being able to just drive by and go check him out and see how they're doing and hug him and kiss him and all that. Yes, I go through all that, I go through all that. But at the same time, there's the other side of me. Like, this is what I chose. This is the process that I'm going. There's a goal that Ashley and I have, and I am willing and able and have decided to make that sacrifice and not waste my time out here. Because I've heard of people that come into trucking, and they don't come with a plan. They come with a minor plan. I'm just going to give them a sell. I'm going to do OTR and I'm going to get my truck. Like, that's their plan. I'm going to get my license, go work with a company, learn a little bit about the business, and I'm going to go to my truck and be an owner operator and do my own business. But they don't spend the time to find out, where you're going to get your CDL at, what school is the best, what best for you, your location, where you live, who hires, what they're going to pay you, what the benefits are, what are the requirements, is it a contract, not a contract, what company you want to work for in the future, are you going to like reefer, do you drive at, have you looked into it? Have you looked at videos? Have you reached out to other drivers through YouTube, social media, and just asked the question, and hopefully they answer back? Because I do know, parentheses, I do know, and I've experienced it myself, some YouTubers that they put a lot of blah on the screen, and you reach out to them and nothing. And that happened to me, and I'm not gonna say names, but definitely happened to me with a couple people. But at the same time, I had other people like 806 drivers, Brian from Driven Trucking, which reached out, Jorge Navarro from A Trucker's Life. Those are people that were honest enough, and they took the time, and they do YouTube, and they share the information, but they love what they do, and they love to share the information just like I do. And they reached out to me. Before, during, and after this through Instagram or email, through even saying, what's up, or give me a quick answer. And I'm the same way. And that's what I appreciate about them. But you have to take the time to do that if you don't know. And that's what I'm here for. If you're looking to get into flatbed, if you're looking to get open deck, regardless of the company, we're carrying the same similar loads. We have to do the similar work. Their policy might be a little different here and there, but you're still doing the work. You still have to be out here on the road. You still have to manage your clock. You still have to pre-plan, post-plan. You still have to understand this truck that, even though mechanically you may not put your hands into, but you want to know how it operates, at least for the basics. I'm not a great mechanic, but I understand mechanics and wrenches, and I have to understand, what a radiator is and how it works, and the hoses, and the pumps, and the air filters, and the fuel filters, and the fact that this is diesel and not gasoline, and how the air tanks work, and how much fuel, and the DEF system, and brake systems, and all that kind of stuff that goes into. You have to understand and make the decision in your mind that you have to learn all that through this process, and it's going to be a learning experience, and you can't get frustrated. Well, let me put it this way: you will be frustrated in the bad moments. You will be frustrated during the wintertime. You guys have seen those videos. You will go through those tough times. But if you prepare yourself, and you do the research, and you ask the questions, and you take that time, you will be better off prepared. Just like I believe I've been 90% of the time, 95% of the time, than somebody who doesn't do the research and don't come out here prepared. Um, so, that's my 2 cents on that, guys. I'm not going to keep dragging on it. I want to get on with the live. But for this first portion of the video and the live, I do want to share it. If you found this, you got into this video looking, as far as why I'm saying, don't come out here to waste your time and trucking. Be prepared. Take your time. Listen to the rest of the live. We're going to go through chats. I'm sure that a couple of guys are already chatting. Read those comments from the guys that are already here. And guys, if you're on the live, please chat below for those guys that may find this video afterwards and watch this on the replay, and they can see your comments about being prepared, whether you agree or disagree, or maybe what are you doing to be prepared, and we'll chat about that a little bit. But other than that, this is me. This is Luis. This is Wolf Rider. This is the WTR channel, and I want to get with my Wolf gang. I think I'm gonna start calling you guys that. I want to get with my Wolf gang out here. So, how you guys been? Can you guys hear me okay? Let me catch up on the comments. Who's here? Who's in the house? It's Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, but I didn't have Taco Tuesday. I actually cooked some small steaks outside real quick when I parked. I kind of parked a little early today because I started super early today. So as much as I could, I actually left a little bit of time on the clock, but I'm on my way to Washington on this trip. And I'm not quite doing a video of this one. Like I said, I recorded to do my yearly review on Melton, and as far as Saruki and all that. So that video is coming out later this week. I'm going to try to have it out by Thursday, latest Saturday, for you guys to enjoy. So if you guys are wondering about that, make sure to stay tuned for that video. And it's an update of my old video that I get a lot of views on it, and I get a lot of comments, but the sound quality sucked. And I knew it sucked, and I think I said it on the video, and I typed it on there. The air was blowing super hard. I recorded it on my previous phone. It wasn't as good as this particular phone with audio as well. But I didn't want to redo it at the moment, and maybe I should have, but at least it's helped some people. So hopefully this one will help you guys. It's definitely better audio. It's definitely better quality video as well. So hope you guys enjoy. But let's see who's here. I already said hello to a couple of you guys. The Chew, what's up, brother? Let's see who has here. The Truth posted her here. What made you choose Melton over Maverick, TMC, and McElroy? Well, like the video I was just speaking about. But as far as looking at other companies, I chose Melton. To be honest, it was the first company uh, and the most recommended out of my school and my school counselor when I switched from, instead of going with Swift, and I switched as a private student. And I told her exactly what I wanted to do, and she sent me a list of 5 different companies. Um, Melton was number one. It was a number one company. Um, I'll be honest and say that I did not research Maverick a whole lot, just a little bit. I looked into it. I saw the videos of Trucking with Tay. I'm sure you guys know who he is. He's an owner up now. Um, I try to reach out to him. I might put him on blast right now, but but not intentionally, but just being honest. I did. I reached out to Trucking with Tay and asked him about Maverick, if he can give me some information from his personal view. Unfortunately, I didn't get anything back, and so I did my own little research. I did call, but what you guys will notice and see, um, that if you, for those, there's a few guys who have come out here. Come out to Melton because of my videos and the channel, and I surely appreciate, and I'm happy, and I wish you guys the best to rock it, and if you guys need help, I'm here. A couple of you guys, I don't know if you're here on the live or not. If you are, let me know. But I've had a couple of guys that has used me as a referral code, use my referral code, whatever, and has blessed me with that as well when they actually come in and get hired on. And I appreciate it. It's not needed, but it helps me for all the work of the channel, and all that goes to a bucket for our future and things that I want to do for the channel for you guys. But anyway, um, but I reach out, if they reach out to me, if you reach out to me and ask me questions about this company, I'll let you know. Other than the videos that I put out and this channel, you can always reach out to me, and I will tell you, as the best of my ability to answer you. If I don't know the answer, I'll try to find it and then get back to you. But I didn't get that information from some, but what I kind of sidetracked a little bit. If you contact Melton will call you almost immediately. I reached out to a couple of those other companies, the truth, and I just, it took a little longer for me to get responses. And by the time they got back to me, that may have changed, but in my experience, by the time they got back to me, I already made my decision, and I've done my research for Melton, the pay, the benefits, where it was their equipment. Of course, I was attracted to the, Kenworth T680s. So I made the jump, and I just made the decision, and I stuck with it. I just stuck with my decision, and it worked out as far as, having Ashley with me and our service dog, or Nyla. Um, and it worked out. So I went for it. And I don't regret my decision. Totally honest. I do not regret my decision. Um, let's see. I'll read some here. Jonathan. What's up, Jonathan? What's up, sub? Welcome to the channel, to the live. What's up, man? Hope it's well. Plan on joining Melton as soon as I graduate from sitting school, but some delays with the school, so I won't be done late April, starting February. Hold on. You will be done till late April. You started school in February. I'm assuming that's what you mean. But hey, congrats, man. Whenever it is, like, again, do your research. Feel free to reach out, ask me questions if I don't answer anything on the videos. And just make sure that this is what works for you, the time out, family, and all that kind of stuff. But congrats on the CDL. That in itself is a sacrifice, I know, and is, it's not the hardest thing in the world, but it's still a sacrifice, and financially and time-wise, and it's a sacrifice. So go for it, man. Congrats on that, Jonathan. What's up, Bill? Good evening. What's up? What's up? What's up, Mr. Pruitt? I say you're right, bro. 100. Thanks for the support on that. Iceman, what's up? I see you on here. Mohammed, I'm up there. I see you. What's up? What's up? I don't know what's up. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I am in Wyoming, if I say it right, Lorraine. I'm bad with names. I'm Puerto Rican. Spanish is still here, and sometimes it don't come out. It doesn't come out right. Um, but Laramie, Wyoming. If I said that right, you guys know where I'm at for your truckers. That's where I'm at right now, parked in the Loves. So if you're out here, don't come banging on my door too hard. Uh, I know it's another Melton guy on the corner, but I don't know who it is. But anyway, you know, just chilling for the night. I'm going to this load to Washington. It's due on Friday morning. My goal is to get there Thursday. Try to deliver early. If you guys know me, I try to deliver early as best as I can, as much as I can. And it's been a couple of tough weeks um, as far as with the winter and all that kind of catching up. I had a little incident on another video that's coming out, which I'm not going to tell you about too much on it, but that's coming out Friday. Part of it is a real delay, but that's kind of where I fit it in. So Friday for sure, that one's coming out. And uh, so it kind of put me back. Let's just say I was in the shop out and I was out. Emmanuel know what's going on. And it was a trip. So I'm trying to catch up, running hard, and make sure that I have the money saved up that I need. But financially, it's been fine, man. It's just you got to deal with stuff here and there. Well, having 9 days waiting to go with a trainer. Awesome. Oop, I jumped. I'll get back to that one. Awesome, Mohammed. That's awesome. 9 days waiting. You've been waiting 9 days to go with a trainer. Is that what you mean by that? Clarify that for me a little bit more, Mohammed, so I can figure out. That's what I'm understanding. That you finished orientation, you've been waiting 9 days to get with a trainer, and that can happen, guys. It didn't happen to me. I waited 2 days, but I did meet people that were waiting a little longer to get trainers, and that's because a lot of people. There's not a whole lot of trainers based on the amount of people that come in. Like, right? Some people stop, training. The last couple of months, actually, Melton opened up, kind of advertised for that as far as for drivers that are meet the qualifications to be trainers at this point, and if they haven't, to join that team. And 50 plus. If you guys watch his channel, he started training. He's able to do it. I gotta ask if I could do it. I can't do it because I have a rider. If I didn't, I probably would for sure. But because I have a passenger with me, I can't train. I can train anybody. So, but otherwise, I probably will. But this is how I train, guys. This is how I train. I know it's not the same, but once you finish with your trainer, if you need any more backup or information, that's what I'm here for. And hopefully, the channel help you guys out or reaching out in social media. But if you are waiting, Mohammed, I know that may happen because the lack of trainers and lack of good trainers. Sometimes there have been trainers that have been taken off the program because they're not training properly. I saw that happening in the beginning as well. There was a couple of trainers that they got, feedback from some, new rookie drivers coming in or trainees or whatever. And, things weren't the way it was supposed to be. And they take them off the program as a trainer, because it is, for me, being a trainer or sharing your knowledge, it's a privilege to do that. Yes, it's not to put yourself in a high pedestal. You're not really teaching them everything you're just teaching them the basics, and you're making sure that person is prepared to be on their own on the road. But it's still a privilege at the same time, because you do earn some extra bucks. You earn some extra money. It's maybe not the greatest, this big old amount of money, but you are earning some money because of the sacrifice that you make about your privacy, your truck, your time, and your knowledge. But you do earn a little bit. So it's a give and take. So, but this is how I train. And, I'm thankful for those guys who come in and use me as a referral. And I appreciate that. For me, that's part of, and even if you don't, I don't care. If you do, great. I'm happy for it. Actually, thanks you for it. I appreciate the support. But if you don't, I don't care. I'll still answer the questions just like anybody else. So that's the way I do. All right. Let's go right here. Let me get back to the questions because I know I can get sidetracked. You guys get me talking. The truth. We come back here. Do the training period. The training period with Melton. Is it a team driver? Uh, it's up to the truth. Is up to the. It's not. Let me answer. Number one is not a team thing. So when you are training, your trainer is with you in the passenger seat unless he decides that he wants to drive. However, he wants to do that. Um, the rule of thumb is that the trainee um, drives maybe after the first day or second day. That's up to the trainer and how comfortable they feel to doing that. But usually, most trainers, if you hear that guy, so Analysis with their bone over there, entertained. Most trainers within after the first day or second day, they let you drive. There are times that if they feel that you're going into a difficult location, they may drive part of it or some of it just to make sure that if you haven't been there and depending on what you show as a trainee and your abilities or what you show him the first time you're driving, um, you guys can talk it out. Basically, you guys talk it out, but there's definitely it's not a team thing. He's not to be sleeping while you're driving, or the trainee is not be in the sleeper what the trainer is driving. No, it's not a team thing. Um, can you kind of get a load and you want to deliver early and kind of split the time a little bit? Does it happen? Hell yeah, it does. Hell yeah, yes. But it's not a team thing, and you don't get loads based off. Oh, you're a team as your trainer and you're training on the team. No, you get one load just as a solo driver. So hope that answers that. Um, Catching up, Jonathan. Let's see what you drove. Once you complete your 3 weeks with a trainer and assign a truck, what happens from there? Do you go home with a truck or hit the road with your first load? Very good question, Jonathan. Well, it's a little bit of both. Number one, do you hit the road? Definitely, you hit the road first, but you will be flagged. They kind of tell you that the orientation, how that works. You will flag yourself to go home the moment you get your truck. Like the day you get your truck, while you're getting everything settled, they're gonna give you your first load, whether for that same day or the next day, depending what time of the day it is. Um, they're gonna give you a load to do, and once you get set on the truck, you're training your DM or the what we call, don't get offended, the diaper fleet, the beginner fleet, whatever the DD fleet they call it. Everybody else calls it diaper fleet. I'm not offended. I make jokes with it, but um, the DM there will tell you, send me your flag to go home. Like when you want to go home. Do you want to go home as soon as possible, or you want to go home later? Um, some guys do stay a little later because they're not rushing to go home, back home or whatever. But most people definitely go home. Um, as far as when you get home, that depends where in the states do you live, uh, where your route is going to. If basically Melton's rule, and I'll share that with you, is if you live east of I-35, north, I-35 runs north and south. Um, if you leave east of it, you need to give at least 2 weeks, 14 days prior notice. As far as has to be your day to go home has to be at least 14 days after from the day that you give it. If you live east of that, then it's 1 week. Now, with that said, if you are on the West Coast and you put for home time, you still have to give those 14 days minimum because they have to get you from the West Coast to the East Coast. That makes sense. And that may happen in a week, but for them, they still need that 14 day. If you are driving and you are in the West Coast when you put your flag for home time, you cannot tell them that you need to go home next week. They still need that 14 days. So hopefully that answered that question. Let me know, Jonathan, if you have anything more on that. All right, Mohammed confirms. So you've been waiting 9 days. Okay, supposed to be with my training tomorrow, Laramie, Wyoming. Oh, right here. You're supposed to meet him right here. How's that? Are they flying you over here? I'm assuming because they do that, they will fly you or rent your car, or depending on the distance, they will fly you and Uber you, whatever. Um, so you meeting him right here where I am at right now. So cool, but it's not me, unfortunately. but it's not me, brother. Uh, you're flying. All right, that's what I thought. Okay, so you're flying out here, I guess tomorrow morning, and you're meeting him here. Well, I'll be gone by then. Good luck, brother. Come on here and like I said, don't waste time. Kick ass. Sorry for the language, but no, I'm not. Kick ass, brother. Get out of here. All right. Good luck. Stay in touch, bro. Stay in touch, Mohammed. Okay. Nevada Trucking, what's up? What's up? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for showing up. Uh, do you guys hear me okay? The microphone sounds good. Let me know. Just want to double check. You're welcome, Mohammed. It sounds like, I mean, you guys are hearing me. I can tell, but I want to make sure it sounds good. Professional. uh, the truth. Let's see. Another question. Which trucker GPS brand do you recommend? Um, I've only had one. Now, if you guys seen my last video, um, and I've used this in the beginning, it's this one. Well, I consider it a paid promotion, but I used Trucker Path in the beginning. So when I came in the beginning of the Trucker course, I didn't have my GPS. I didn't really use GPS when I came. And with my trainer, the way we work, it was my ALS book, and using the suggested route from Melton. You get a suggested route. They tell you what roads to take, and how many miles between each road, and blah blah blah. And that's what I used. I followed that, took a screenshot of that on my app, and actually, no, let me correct myself. At the beginning, when you're with the trainer, you don't have access to the app quite yet, because the load. Well, you have access to the app, but the loads are not going to you. The loads are going to your trainer. So I took a screenshot of the Qualcomm with the highways and the suggested route, and that's how I followed it. And I follow that, and I just follow signs on the highway. Don't get used to your GPS, regardless. And we'll talk. I'll answer the GPS question, because that's the video I have to do. But thank you, 86. Sounds good. Awesome. I'll talk about. I'm doing a video on my GPS and what I recommend and don't recommend. But that's just a review. But what I have, let me grab it real quick. Let me grab it. I have the Rad McNally. I'm gonna turn it on, and it's gonna connect to my phone and all that, because I have it all set up. But this is the one I have. This is not a paid promotion. It's the 7-inch Pro. I got this 4 months after I picked up Ashley. So probably about about 5 months into trucking. That's when I got this. And I'll tell you why I got it. I'm gonna put a review video, but you guys get a little more info on that. I like it. One, because they're the same people who make the Road Atlas. So you would expect that they'll have all the updated information. You guys in the comment can comment below. You guys comment below what your favorite is. But there's pros and cons. I do plan to get a Jesus, what's the other brand? Because it's pretty much two main brands. Somebody help me out here. What's the other brand of GPSs out here? My God, because I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, for the sake of time, you guys put it in and I'll mention it. But I do plan to get one of the other ones just so I can test it out. And I want to see what any major differences, utilities, even make things a little easier or harder, depending on their user-friendly ability, right? But a GPS, this one has a lot of tools. They're not cheap. You can get definitely an inexpensive one based on the levels. But this, you see, no, not Cobra. That's a CB, not GPS. Jonathan, I just saw that. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. 806 driver, real quick. About to lay down, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, brother. I know I'm under the scale. It's been a long day. Homeboy, if you haven't checked 806 Driver's channel, make sure to go check him out. I had the pleasure of meeting him, and that video is part of what's coming out this week. But he beat me to it. I'm a little more in depth with other stuff, but I got a chance of meeting him the other day. So make sure you stay tuned for that video. If you not go see his channel, he's already posted it. So go check out his video when we met. Um, Cobra has some GPS. My friend gave his. Okay. All right, Jonathan. I have not seen it, so I can't say about that. I stick with the major ones with Saran McDaniel and the other one who escapes my brain right now. Uh, so Garmin, not garlic. Garmin. Thank you, Nevada. Even though you wrote garlic on the comment, the G came out. Garmin. All right. So autocorrect. Yeah. That's I know how it goes. Tom also. Yeah, Garmin. Oh, you have put it correct up there, Garmin. Okay, I didn't see. uh, yeah. So I chose the Rad McNally just because that's again the Atlas, the road Atlas that we get and this district get, they're made and created by the Rad McNally. So I figured why not have the same one. And they do have, I'll put this in my review, but you have the Atlas here too on the GPS. I'll do a review on it, guys. That video is coming up. But that's what I chose. But I'll tell you in a nutshell, do not always follow your GPS, regardless of it's Garmin and ThumbThumb or McNally. Do not follow it 100% all the time. Double check the route that it gives you, especially when you are in a rural area, residential, industrial mix area, within a city, and you have to deliver within a city. Double check with all your tools. Google Maps, double check, use that satellite view. Anyway, I'm going to go more into that in that review probably next week. So, because that's being long overdue, man, long overdue. But I've had it for almost a year, so I can talk about some things about it now. But yeah, dun. Thank you, Nevada. He posted out here. That's all the ones that are major truck specific, and he is correct. He is correct on that. Yep, the settings to be 13.6 and 80K. So most all this trucker, what he's talking about, guys, for the guys that may not know or not into the truck, don't have one of these yet, is you can go to the settings, and I'll go here real quick. Oh no, wrong ones. And you guys are making me cheat on my videos for this stuff, but real quick, you can go into the settings, and right there, and you put all your weight, what the weight is when you load it, your height, your width. Ignore that 10.5 because I haven't changed it. That's on me. I haven't changed it. When I did that oversized load, you guys saw your trailer size, number of axles. You can see if you're carrying a hazmat and all that kind of stuff. So, you can put specific information into the GPS, and if it changes, you just change it on there, and it gives you the best route based on that information as far as where you're going to fit. But again, don't follow it 100%. You always want to double check your information. I'll talk in the review. Yes, it has tried to take me to the wrong places or through the wrong road. At the same time that it's, I've cleared that I know a U.S. highway has a piece that is brand new and is trucker friendly. There's, trucks are allowed, but it may have not fully been updated, and it thinks that, weight limit exceeded, and it'll give you that warning for like 5 minutes because it's a short piece of distance that for some reason they haven't updated in the system. But so, don't, like I said, GPSs are a tool. You don't need it to drive a truck. And I'll say that in my review, and I'll say that to you. You don't need a GPS to drive a truck. Most guys have been doing this for a while. If you drive on the road, they don't use a GPS. It's just a backup. It's a tool. We use it a lot. We like technology. I like technology. So I use it. But I use it for other reasons. You guys stay tuned for that, so you guys know why I use it and what tools I use out of it. That helps me a lot. But anyway, we're in the Q&A. We're in the Q&A. There's another question, so feel free to show the Q&A, guys. Again, if you're coming into this, if you're not watching on the replay, I talked in the beginning about not wasting your time in trucking. So make sure to go watch the replay once it processes. I'm I'm going to try to edit out the little technical difficulty I had in the beginning, unfortunately, but I'll edit that out and then we'll get right into that video. So watch it on the replay. But if you have any questions right now, we're on a Q&A. We kind of jumped into that for the guys that jumped into the live. And if you're saying hi, just let me know you're here. Make sure you hit that like button. It does help the channel. Let's see. The culture, this culture. My driving record isn't the greatest. What are my chances of getting with Melton straight out of CDL school? It's on a case-to-case basis. That's pretty much kind of the nutshell. I can tell you, talk to the recruiter. If you are, I don't know when you're planning to go into. Let me know when you're planning to go into CDL school if you haven't, or if you're in the school right now. But for the most part, if you're honest with them, I've heard of some guys having certain things. It depends what it is, and I don't need you to share it on this, but just talk to a recruiter, let them know exactly what it is, be 100% clear with them, and they will let you know. And I'm sure, honestly, that they will do their best and they'll move earth, heaven and earth to try to get you in, if you are being honest with them and you really want to do it. So just talk to your recruiter and let them know. Be 100%. Because they will ask you. Just now that you say that, they will ask you in orientation. If you tell them one thing in your orientation, they pulled one by one of the instructors. They pull you out and then go over your app with you, and they'll re-ask a question. And towards the end of it, they will ask. At least they ask me, is there anything that you want to share now before we move forward? So, just a heads up. And that's, if you haven't, then that's where you at. And I did. So you share everything. But just talk to your recruiter and they'll let you know. Let's see. Nevada trucking. I appreciate all the questions, man. I hope I'm answering the best of my ability for you guys. Question: what do they do if you're on the West Coast and you have an emergency, you need to get home? If you have an emergency, you call your recruiter right there and then. And of course, it depends what you classify as an emergency, right? So again, it is a case-to-case basis, but if it's an emergency, they will work and do their best to get you home, even if they have to fly you or rent your car, depending on the distance. I've seen the post, guys who may be with Melton, Emmanuel could probably testify if he's still here on the live. That on the page, we have seen posts of people being grateful about thank you to the DM, move heaven and earth to get them home to take care of what they needed to take care of. But it depends on the emergency, right? If it's a life or death situation, spouse, kids, really bad hurt, they're in the hospital and is badly hurt. They're going to ask you all those questions. I've been a manager since I was 19, and those are the questions that at least I would ask. So I'm sure they would ask. They would try to find out what the situation is and see how bad an emergency it is for them to get you home, and see if they of course they want to take care of the load as well, and they want to take care of you as a driver, but they will do their best to get you home ASAP. So even if they have to fly you, I've seen it happen. I've heard of it and I've read about it. So hope that answers that. They're very good with that. Let's see. Truth again. What is the one thing a person should have when going on a trainer's truck? Safety equipment. Have your hard hat. If you can pre-buy it, you could get it at orientation. I don't personally like those little blue ones. I don't. You can get gloves, basic gloves. If you're in Tulsa, especially, you can buy them at the store, the gear store in Tulsa. They also have nicer helmets as well. You can get that there, or you can go with the basics if your budget doesn't allow you to do that. But just bring 7-10 days worth of clothes. Bring a small bag. Honestly, if you don't buy any extra food until you talk to your trainer and how he feeds himself, whether he has a microwave, how you guys gonna work that out. I brought some canned soups and things like that. Not canned soup, but like noodles. I bought noodles, those soups and stuff like that, with hot water and eat. And a couple of snacks in a bag, but they go, on the bottom of my feet on top of the bunk bed up here. And I didn't eat all of it. To be honest, I didn't eat all of it. So in a way, it was kind of in my way, kind of extra baggage. But just bring your clothes, bring a pillow because you're going to use a pillow. I actually didn't buy my pillow until before I went with my trainer. So there is a Walmart close by. You can borrow the van for an hour out of Tulsa. You go to Walmart and you can buy, a couple little things that you need for the trainer. But do that after you talk to your trainer, you know, uh, hopefully you have the time to do that. There are times that you can get your trainer the next day after you're done and you don't have a whole lot of time to do that. But if you can do so, but don't bring a whole bunch of stuff. This is the space that you got. The space that you got is up here. That's your space, and you don't want to have a bunch of things on top of you. And if you're coming in now, the season of summer's coming, and depending on your trainer, my trainer, he didn't mind being hot. I heat rises. It gets hotter up there, especially the truck is off, and the little windows up there don't do much. So you don't want to bring a whole lot of stuff. So I hope that answers that question. Jonathan, does everyone get a T680 or is base availability the terminal? Well, Jonathan, if you haven't heard of yet, they have moved from the T680s. There are still some, but they have been moving. They bought a bunch of 2020s and I don't know if 2021s, but don't quote me on it, but I want to say 2020. Let me just say 2020 Freightliners that they had ordered before the pandemic started, and so they had a set of those. They started switching out the Kenworth 6080s that were going out of warranty, and they were moving on with them and moving those guys into those Freightliners. But they also bought Peterbilts, so they are mixing the fleet between Peterbilts and Freightliners right now. Now, I have a Kenworth, which I'm glad at it. There are still some Kenworth out there. There will not, from my understanding, they will not get rid of them until they're, the 400,000 mile period that their warranty is getting close to be done. Then they'll kind of switch that driver out. So this truck has 70,000 miles when I was given into it, which I'm happy. That video is up. And I hope to stay in this truck. My vision that I'm staying in this truck until I hit those 400 marks. If I, get there while I'm still here. So, before they try to change me, but yeah, as far as availability, based on what you come, it's what you're going to get. Most likely it could be a Peterbilt. That's what it could be, a Freightliner. They have more Freightliners or Peterbilts, but I know they're mixing it now throughout this year, next year. So that's my understanding on that. This is culture. Let me catch up in here. All right, you catch you on the replay, brother. Thank you, culture. About to subscribe. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. All the support on the channel. Navarro Trucking Trails. I wanted to start with Melton. When I was younger, let me just say I like to burn bridges. They told me I needed 6 months of experience due to that. Because we were belting. Oh, okay, I get your point. I get your point. Yeah, it is part. Not that you say that. Now you said about it. It is part of what I was also meaning in between the worlds. But by coming out here, you have to have a plan. This is I don't believe I learned, and I did it when I was younger. I did it in my 20s, in my mid 20s, jumping from job to job, and I was in management, logistic management position, supervisor managers. That's all I did since I was 19, and I learned my lesson the hard way on jumping from job to job. I worked, a couple of years in a place. I got bored out of it because I really didn't like being enclosed in a place. And I think that's, I got the job done easy. I got bored and I moved on to the next one. But before I moved on to the next one, honestly, I missed work. I called in or whatever until I was like, okay, it's time to move on. And then I moved on to another job. So hold on, guys, before Nyla pulls that battery out. Yeah. I don't recommend job hopping. And in the trucking industry, I watched also another channel a little bit ago, and share the same opinion. If you're one there, you're going to come in, get your experience, and plan to get your own truck. When it comes to He was an insurance guy. When it comes to insurance, they also look, if you've been jumping from company to company, company to company because you're trying to find what works best for you, um, instead of sticking with one and just working it to its best, um, as long as that you're doing your best and you understand what's going on, at least stay long enough to gain the experience that you need. But if you're job hopping, that also affects your ability to how much you're going to pay for insurance when you decide to go on a route and get your own truck. So I don't recommend it. Don't recommend it much to do that. But yeah, I understand. You learn that, brother. If you can't get to Melton, get your experience. Hopefully, get that and stay in touch if you do come in here. The right truck in. Hey, buddy, wants to stop insurance on love. To my boy, thank you. Come on live. Thank you, brother. Catch you later, YouTube. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. You have a good night. Good night, bro. Appreciate you guys jumping in. Jonathan. Let's go on. What kind of Peterbilt are there if you know it by chance? Dude, honestly, I would have to look him up. Tell you, I'm gonna look him up right now for you because I don't pay a whole lot of attention to those things because I'm on my Kenworth and I like my Kenworth. But I will look it up for you. I will look it up for you right now. We're gonna find out together. If somebody knows, they could probably post it on there. I don't know. And I probably know it's in the back of my head, but let's see if I can figure out just looking at the picture. This is somebody's truck. So like Peterbilts are not that easy to tell. I have to find out. Somebody knows exactly what kind of Peterbilt. Manual, if you're still here. Doom. I'm looking to the comment. The way they posted this a while back. So see if I find it. You guys, if you got a question, put it in. Put it in. I'll catch up in 1 second. I'll look it up. I'll look it up and I'll try to post. But here is a picture of them, just in case you haven't seen them. Because I really don't know what model exactly it is. I don't want to post this person's page, but let's see. That's what they are right there. So those are the Peterbilts there they got. So I hope that helps right there. 579s. Mohammed, I think you're correct on that. That rings a little bit of a bell. Leonard, what's up? What's up? Mr. Leonard, I was hoping you're gonna jump in on this from Cali. But Mohammed, I think you're right. I think they're 579. The truth is Melton have APUs in their truck. If not, are you penalized for idling your truck? Some trucks, I know some of the Kenworth 680s did have APUs. I'm not sure that the new trucks do have APUs. And no, they don't penalize you for idling. I'm idling right now. I'm talking to you guys on this live. I idle if it's cold or too hot. Do I sacrifice a little bit of heat, for example? I got my covers. Ashley and I are kind of set. We got plenty of covers. We got warm covers. There is bunk heaters. Just make sure your bunk heater works. Of course, your bunk heater is also operated initially by your inverter, so they kind of work in tandem. So they're not going to stay on all night long. You may have to turn on your truck to get some heat if it gets too cold. But of course, if it's that cold in freezing weather, you should not turn off your truck probably, so it doesn't gel up like I was in North Dakota. Um, Speaking of that, when I was, if you haven't seen the video, when I was, go check out that video in Montana. When I had to stop the truck and the North Dakota trip, that my truck idle all those days. They didn't turn off. When I got stuck in Montana from Friday night to Monday that I took off, that truck was idling. That truck did not turn off. Uh, Other than when I was checking check the liquids and everything, make sure it was good, and doing double checking everything was good. But that truck did not turn off. And no, so like I said, they don't penalize you. We do have a fuel bonus, of course, which is how they encourage us to save as much fuel as possible as we, are driving. The way how you drive the truck, um, turning it off when you don't need it. I have it on right now because I want to make sure that this doesn't turn off for you guys in the process. So I don't want to have to turn it on and run back. Sorry, run back to do that and worry about that. This is the reason that this truck is on. But right now, if I wasn't doing that, the truck will be off. It is about 43 degrees right now over here. I know it's going to drop a little lower. I'm going to keep an eye on the temperature. There's going to drop a weather channel and all that kind of stuff. But I will probably leave it off. I like sleeping. I don't mind sleeping a little cold if I have to. So I don't run that hot. So I don't mind sleeping a little cold. I can deal with it. If it gets too cold in here, I will get up and turn the truck on or leave it on. So that's the way it is. They don't penalize you. They don't bug you for it. Just know that your fuel bonus is going to be affected depending how you are doing in every 90 days. So every quarter, how you're doing in fuel savings, which some of it is under our control and most of it may not be, because it all depends what terrain you're running and loads and all that kind of stuff. So, but as far as APUs, some trucks do have them. I don't know if the new ones, they are putting APUs. They were trying it for a little bit. My opinion of what I've seen is I think they have gone away from them on the new trucks. But I may be incorrect. If I am, on the next live, I'll find out. Doom. Yeah, those are nice. They're pretty nice. Sup, Leonard? All right, brother. Catch you on the next one. Leonard, I appreciate your support like always, man. Just take it easy. Take it easy. But yeah. What time is it? Oh, we've been up here about an hour. I'm taking away the first probably 10 minutes of crappy connection. But I appreciate you guys are still here. You guys are joining in. If you're watching this on a replay and kind of got to the end of this, surely appreciate it. Hope all the information is helping and helps you make a decision as far as your future, if you're looking to get into your CDL or looking even more to get it with Melton. Hope the channel is helping you guys. I really, really appreciate all you guys' support. Guys, we have grown the channel. I don't know if you guys pay attention, but we've grown. We did 500. We already passed 600. I am totally stoked, amazed, humbled. We're past 600. We're closer to that 1,000 mark, and hopefully we'll keep going after that. And I can, keep creating content that you guys like, love, and appreciate. I'm trying to create a balance between, showing you guys different loads and different things. It gets to a point that you guys are going to see kind of the similar things. And at that moment, I'll try to just talk, I'll just share about what I'm doing, what I'm going through, what's going on out here. And, hope you guys, enjoy the content that comes up. So, it's exciting. You guys saw, Trucker Path needs to reach out to me. So there will be a couple of little sponsors here and that for them, which is unexpected and cool. So at the same time, but that's what's YouTube all about. So I appreciate all the support, guys. So I don't know. Anybody got any other questions? Sorry. I already ate. I'm full. I'm just gonna go and take a shower and call it a night. Get up early in the morning. It's supposed to snow tonight at 11. It's supposed to be a little slick. And so Muhammad, keep an eye on that. If you're still here, I saw you say good night. Stay safe. If you're flying with your trainer here, it's supposed to snow a little bit here, but it shouldn't be too bad. but the signs out here says from 11 to 1 p.m. expect snow in some slick areas. So um, I'm hoping to get through here and have the chance to get to my destination early on Thursday. Maybe have a chance to deliver the load. So that's the plan. Other than that, guys, if you guys don't have any questions, I'll give a couple of minutes here for any more questions that anybody may have. It doesn't have to be about trucking. If you got a personal question, feel free to ask as well. I have no problem um, answering that. Again, like I said, make sure to follow me on Instagram, WolfRider750. If you don't, and if you have Instagram, follow me there because I do post there a lot, and sometimes I go there first before I kind of check the comments on YouTube channel. I try not to really look a whole lot into the channel and get all bugged down about how many subscribers and likes and all that kind of stuff. I just do what I do and let you guys enjoy it, entertain it. If you like it, great. Put thumbs up. If you don't, you don't. Hit the thumbs up twice. Whatever. But that's what I do. So Instagram, if during the day, whatever you got questions, comments, you can find me on Instagram. I'll know that you have a message, and when I stop and I have a moment, I'll answer right there in contact and stay in touch. Stay in touch, whatever it is, guys, whatever it is. Um, but all right, it seems like we have no more questions, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night, guys. Surely appreciate again being on, and let the Wolfgang gone, the Wolfgang. How about that? I'm gonna call you Wolfgang right now. For those might watch this on the replay, I know Learner was one of them. T-shirts are being processed for those who were winners of that. They're processing. So as soon as I get confirmation that they are shipped out and done, you guys will get an email from me. So, but they're going out. They're going out. I should appreciate it. Hope you like it and enjoy it. Hold on. Oh, I saw a question just now. Jonathan, how many miles do you average a week? I'm only 21 and I don't mind being OTR for long periods of time. It depends on the load. I spoke about that. Yeah, I spoke to that in one of the last videos about how long you are here. But I probably need to do a video on that because I get that question a lot, of course. I personally have averaged my first year coming out, as a rookie, I definitely averaged 25, let's say between 22 to 26, 2,700 a week. That's kind of where I stayed at for the most part. You have some weeks that if you run good, again, if you come out here with a plan and understanding, once you get you have your truck and you understand and you run hard, like this load. Let me use this load as an example, guys, for you guys to hear. And Jonathan, if you stay here, this load is not due till Friday morning. If I wanted to, and I picked it up Monday morning. The appointment to pick up was at 12. Let me start there. It was at 12 noon. I got there at 9:30. The customer could have said, "Hey, we pick you. Your appointment's at 12." Yes. 9 times out of 10, you get there, they'll put you on line, and they got me loaded by 9:45. I was loaded and secured. 10 o'clock, I'm already rolling. So I already beat the clock by 2 hours as far as my day. I had 8 hours left. I had about 9 hours left on the clock. I ran ahead of him. Now, my appointment's on Friday. Normally, drop off and pickup days. I don't count that first day that I'm picking up that new load as a running day. So when I calculate, okay, my appointment's Friday, I need to be there Thursday. Can I make that within Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and be there by Thursday? It is a including the drive, the empty loads that I had to do going to the shipper, is about 1,900. It's about 2,000, a little on 2,070 miles, based as far as pay miles. It's 2,100. You're always going to drive a little bit more, zip code to zip code stuff. But I guess what I'm trying to say is I could have taken my time to get there Friday. Like, I don't have to rush to get there Thursday afternoon. I have no reason to. My appointment's Friday. I can take my time and just divide the days and, get there Thursday night and deliver Friday morning. Right. But I'm not. That's not the way I pre-plan. That's not the way I run. I've run hard in the beginning, especially in wintertime, going through these northwestern states. to make sure that if weather or anything happens, traffic delays, I can still get there on time. But definitely I should to get there early. If I can and I have the days and the hours available, I run to get there early. And if I can deliver early, the same thing. If they take the delivery earlier, great. Guess what? That means that sets me up to get my next load even that same day or the next day, instead of having to deliver and then go get a load and wait to get unloaded and then get assigned a next load. They'll give me a load to go pick up Friday morning or the next day in the morning. You know what I mean? Then they give me that load, and instead of dropping off, I already dropped off the day before. I got a load already set up for the morning, which gives me more time to deliver that load. Hope let's say by Monday, maybe I can run the weekend and I can deliver on Monday and submit both those loads into my settlement week, because the settlement starts it ends on Monday and it starts on Monday. You know what I mean? So it starts Tuesday through Monday, basically Tuesday through Monday. So instead of, let's say, if I don't deliver this early, let's say I deliver this Thursday afternoon, hopefully I'll get a load assigned. Whether I pick up Friday morning or I pick up that same Thursday, probably will be Friday morning, most likely, depending at the time that I'm able to get there if I can. And if its due date is for Monday and I'm going to get there to deliver it, let's say it's 1,200 miles, for example. Now I have a 3,200-mile week. See what I mean? Instead of having a 2,000-mile week, and having a shorter week, because it's still somewhat winter, so I'm not bugging too much about it. I have a 3,200-mile week because I got that load. That can still happen if I deliver Friday morning and get another load. That can still happen. But I have a better chance by delivering early. So the miles really depends. I say that to say this: the miles you make your week depending on how you run. So if you run hard to get there early as possible, or be there the night before, deliver early, do things, work hard to get things done as fast as possible. Core, you can't control the receiver if they take too long to empty you out or load you, whatever. That can be a little stressful if they take too long, but you have no control of that. But what you can control is yourself and how you drive and how you manage your time. And if you manage it properly and run, safely as best as you can, and as 65 mile an hour, so that's the fastest you can go on a truck, then you'll be fine, man. You can run all the miles that they are given to you and that they're available to you. You will run them and they'll give it to you. You're available, you're empty, they will keep you running. And that's the good part. So hopefully you see here, hopefully that you got that answer. It seems like you did. So, but that's how I run every single load. And if my buddy Emmanuel's still here, he knows we talk about that a lot. But regardless, that's how I run. Run hard, try to get there early if I can. If not, just try to get in and out as fast as possible so I can keep running. And we'll talk about another video. In another video, I'll make a video about what's running recaps and taking breaks or taking the resets. My opinion on that. I'm not going to share on this video. We need to kind of end it up. It's about an hour, 20 minutes, and your man here needs to go clean up on a day. I've been driving all day, but I did a little bit of walking earlier in my break, so I need to go clean up and call her a night and call my baby Ashley because she's not here and I miss her. So I need to give her a call. We talk all day, pretty much off and on all day, but still got to call her. You guys know how it is. But if there are any more questions, guys, I know there's still about 7 of you guys still on the live. Again, appreciate it. Hope you have a good night. And if you lasted to the end, appreciate all the support, guys. Much love. Stay tuned for the videos coming out this week. And if you have nothing else to do, need to be more entertained, go watch one of the other videos on the channel you may have not watched, and hopefully may answer some questions or at least give you a more in-depth of my life out here on the road. Other than that, have a good night, guys. Peace.